What's going on, guys? Belleair here. We are back, and today we are on with one of the most unique presets I have seen in recent memory. That is Skippy, who spent the season playing on the Young Whippersnappers roster, who were able to make a couple of main events over the course of the season. I think it might have been the rookie season for all three of the players, that being Realize, Panda, as it's said, even though it's stylized as a more of an acronym, and then Skippy. And the reason why I wanted to highlight Skippy is I was looking at, Shift has the upcoming, man, it is tough to focus on my words with this incredible boost noise that we have from Skippy. Hopefully that's not too loud on the other side. And then he's got the classic Mark by 8 decal. I can't remember the name of it. I used to rock that thing for a while. But I sidetracked myself, as we often do in these videos. The reason that I wanted to watch some Skippy is Young Whippersnappers were invited to the North American play-in for the upcoming Shift Summer League event that they're running. And I was thinking, like, who about these players is interesting? And so I was looking at, I got this big stat guide where I basically pulled every core and advanced stat for all the players across the RLCS. And, sometimes I'll just look at that when I'm trying to pull up numbers or see where somebody kind of exists within the broader scheme of things. And Skippy is a standout in two specific categories. Not only is he the one of the highest boost collected per game players that we have in the RLCS. I think he's third amongst all players who make the cut, and for me that's playing more than 50 games. Skippy is just constantly guzzling boost, as we've heard from this boost sound over the course of this game. The other thing that he does incredibly well at an elite level is demo. 1.9 is his average per game, and our general average for the RLCS floats somewhere around the 1.5 mark. So Skippy being where he is puts him at one of the highest in the world, as he's going to unfortunately let that goal float in just over top of himself. I was interested to see this playstyle because I think it's pretty rare that we get playstyles that are this unique. Skippy is not too big of a scorer or a saver. He is just around or below average on both of those, and he is incredibly low in the assist category, only averaging 0.16 per contest, which is way lower than what we anticipate for average players. Our top players in the world are getting close to 1 is unfair. In some of the emerging regions, we get close to 1, the Thos and the VK Salins of the world. But for high-level contending players that we see contending for lands, a player like Razebull comes to mind. He's near the top. He's at like 0.78 per contest. So Skippy's 1.6, super low. And really, it seems like the play style here, when you compare it with this boost that we're getting from Skippy, is just cause chaos, open up space for your teammates, be physical, and try and just, put yourself in situations where you may not have the high-level mechanics or the veteran savvy of other teams. Here we see them going up against Omelette, who, of course, was picked up by Cloud9 over the course of this season. But, clearly you do not have the quality of experience that this roster can put out. You probably don't have the scoring or playmaking as well. So, hey, let's try and create some easy opportunities for ourselves so we can hang with these guys. And that is Skippy. Be upfield, be impactful. He's going to try and, stay close to the ball on Zanil for this one. Just make your opponent take a second gander before they do what they're trying to do. Try and disrupt the flow of their offense, the flow of their defense. Get physical with some demos, and just kind of be a chaos merchant, as it were. This is something that we've seen previously and in different iterations. Hasn't always been a recipe for the highest level of success, but it certainly has paid dividends for some players. Of course, we know that the Coms, the Reddles, the Arsenals of the world at one point in time were known for their world-class ability to demo. They may not have been quite as fast as Skippy is, and fast isn't always necessarily a good thing, as he's pretty heads-up defensive play there to cut that one out. Fast isn't always a benefit, as we're going to get one going the other direction. I would like to look back at this one. I'm going to kill that one, and then here comes Realize with a boost of speed, and is just going to get a really, really nice reset top left corner there over Zanil to put them up in this game one here. But, you know, fast can sometimes be a hindrance. Sometimes if you're fast, you are out of boost all the time and out of position all the time. And is Skippy going to redirect this one? Didn't really mean much. The game was at the dead point there anyways. But, you know, going to get a nice little bump on Zanil there, who is now out of position and is just going to yoink that one into the net to give them a 3-1 victory here, as Skippy, a goal to his name, an assist to his name, and 2 shots. But, you know, I'm surprised that goal line save that he had to give Realize the breakaway score in transition didn't count as a save. Probably should have, to give him ones across the board. Only 274 points to his name, but a lot of impact for Skippy. So let's go ahead and head over to another game, and we'll keep this thing rolling. All right, Skippy on the Finnick. We're actually going to watch 2 games here. Oh my gosh, another disgusting boost that Skippy has deployed here. It reminds me of the classic Radosin boost on that car that he was known for rocking all last season. I wonder how his teammates feel about that. Like, if you're a teammate of Skippy, if you're even in just like your ranked games, do you like when people have unique boosts like this? Is he going to put this one away? No, Garrett is going to be able to cover up there. Do you like when players have boosts like this? It sometimes can be effective, but other times you're just like, come on, man. Like, you got to be kidding. Like, I was playing the other day, and a guy had the, what's it called? Like, the Accelerado. It's just like, it sounds like a guitar the whole time. And I was like, look, I get it, but, like, cut me some slack. This is tough to deal with. But I digress. A minute in, that's how long we rant about Skippy's boost. Imagine what it's doing to his opponents. Just knowing that Skippy, who is taking and using so much boost, it's got to get into your head a little bit, you know? You can constantly hear him. You know he's close. It probably rushes your touches sometimes a little more than you would want, as Skippy is going to just completely break rotation there. Who cares about transition defense, and is going to steal that big boost on the other side of the pitch there. But this playstyle, we were talking in the last game, we've seen it before. You know, Reddles, Arsenal, Com, we're known for it. Even Virtuoso, at a point in time, really his bread and butter was physicality, demos, make space for your teammates, and that eventually kind of outwore its welcome. But now he has been dominant for the Gladiators over in APAC. But it's not SSA, is it? No, it's APAC. Come on, belleair. Anyways, guys, this playstyle is unique, and I like unique playstyles. It's something that we don't really get a lot of, where Skippy is like, look, I am not trying to score necessarily. I am not trying to absolutely kill you with mechanics, although that was a pretty clean reset. Wasn't able to get the bump and transition on missed. But, you know, I like this idea of just being like, I am going to set up my teammates. They will lead us to victory, and we'll kind of go from there. I picked this game, and we're actually going to watch another one as well after this. This is the game 4 of what will end up being a reverse sweep over NRG. So a pretty impressive win here for the Young Whippersnappers in their rookie seasons. And let's see how Skippy's going to try and maintain this one. 0 boost, gets a really nice kill there on the ball. I don't know who that was. It must have been missed based on the rotation what we're seeing here. And really is just calmly playing this one here. They don't look super rushed. They are composed here in defense, which is what you like to see from young players. A drop down pass to Skippy, not a very good first touch. Is going to kill that attack. And we just talked about this in the video we did yesterday for Eugen. What a save there by Panda on a Garrett double touch. But what you commonly see from these young teams is a lack of consistent or extended offensive pushes. It's kind of one shot and maybe a follow-up, and then you kind of transition out, wherein you see other teams who are elite, as Drees is going to just give one up there. He's just going to hand that to Skippy for a semi-rare goal for Skippy. But the Gentlemates, the Vitalities, the G2s, the Gen Gs of the world have the ability to maintain minute or two long offensive pushes, and that is not something that we're going to see commonly on the Young Whippersnappers gameplay. I wanted to write down a couple of NBA comparisons. It's tough. The things that I'm kind of thinking of here is not really someone... Ooh, that was almost a nice little heads-up demo on Drees. Not really a lot of focus on scoring or passing, but more just an off-the-ball offensive and defensive asset. So I came up with a list of names as another transition goal here from Young Whippersnappers. Always good when you can get easy goals against teams that you are undermatched against. Marcus Smart is probably a little too good for a Skippy comparison. No offense to Skippy, but Marcus Smart is Marcus Smart. He's a Defensive Player of the Year candidate and has been in some massive games as part of the Boston Celtics, now a Memphis Grizzly, and he was injured for a big part of last season. But physical, commanding, not somebody who you want to get guarded by, and who can do a lot for you offensively without necessarily popping up on the stat sheet. Another player who is in a similar ilk is Dylan Brooks, probably a little more apt with a comparison. Was a Memphis Grizzly and got traded to the Rockets. And then some classic centers, as this one is just going to roll to the ground. Did Miss just not get a good handle on this? Why did he not try and... They're down a goal. Oh, he gets bumped. Heads up play there by Realize. As let's check the score, and then we're going to go over to game 5 here. But Skippy, 1 goal, 1 save, 2 shots. This seems to be about what you're getting out of him. There's very few games where he's going to pop off and get you a hat trick, or certainly not a lot of savior medals. But, he can get you a goal. He can get you a save or two in big spots. He's not looking to take on a heavy volume of shots. He is kind of a utility player who, again, is probably doing better than the stat sheet will show you. It's a lot of stuff within the margins with him that are big benefits to open up space for his teammates. So let's hop over to game 5, and then we'll finish off these NBA comparisons. Champions Field here for Skippy. I want to try and spend a lot of time looking at the gameplay here. So just briefly, nice cut around the defender to get this going here. Kendrick Perkins is one of those kind of big bruising players, physical pick setter to kind of create space for his teammates, and one's going to leak here full field. What does Skippy do? That ball's there. He tries to rotate to that mid boost. It's not there. Did he really need to do that? How does this one even get there? Kind of a weird 50 that Realize took, and then it's got a lot of momentum. Probably a gamble there for Skippy to try and grab that mid boost, but I understand what he was going for. I see the vision. And then alongside Kendrick Perkins, a player like Big Baby Davis. Again, neither of these guys are big scorers necessarily, not going to light the world on fire with their playmaking or their defense, but just big bodies who can get some rebounds and can create some space for their teammates, made them assets for the Clippers and the Thunder, respectively. I know they both played for other teams as well, but the Boston Celtics, I guess, is probably a big baby team. Hey, look at that. A score for Skippy. How did this one get started? And then we'll focus in on the gameplay here. Get a beat over 1, and then Miss just doesn't think he's going to get back to that quick enough. Really slow defensive rotations there from NRG as Garrett gets beat on the quick jump by Skippy, and then Skippy heads up enough to get back to that one. Doesn't go for ball there. Tries to get a rip on Mist, to kind of create some transition opportunities for his teammates. Skippy's going to get up for this one. Get beat by Drees, but nobody is there for NRG. Could have probably been an easy goal if they would have trusted that attempt a little bit more. I guess tries to make it awkward there in the corner. Going to play his pads nicely here. He needs to be aware that there was a defender behind him, or an opponent behind him, rather. And then luckily gets across to get to that ball for the save. But this is getting a little sloppy for the Whippersnappers here. And let's see how they try and, get their feet back under him, as everybody is low boost. You can see Realize picking up pennies in the middle. Mist is very lucky that Skippy could not get a rip on that shot, because look, he just kind of hands this over to him under no pressure. He's just going to try and, I guess, boom that one out. And then in his panic, booms again. Whippersnappers just cannot get a handle on this one, as they're trying to play this around in small little doses. Skippy's going to try and be competitive on this ball in the midfield. No boost, is very fortunate to get that spawn there. Realize probably going to go for a double and then keep it for a solo. Skippy is just here, and oh my gosh. I was about to say, man, we never see Skippy score 2 goals. Well, with things like this, you definitely won't, as Realize just falls in the worst possible position to try and get out of the way, gets immediately in the way. And Skippy there, another one where it's like, you have no boost. You probably don't need to gamble on that, because it seemed like he was beat there by Drees. And then I'm doing a lot of reversing in this game. Sorry, viewers. But curious to see how this one comes apart. Just a great angle there from Mist. Whippersnappers are not playing very well out of their own corners, especially that left corner. We saw Garrett almost rip one in, and it got saved out by Realize in that last game we watched, and then Mist there is just able to work, find his spots out of the corner. And here they are again trying to get out of this corner. Fake, because Drees kind of falls onto the ball. Skippy's just going to try and get this one out, pays for it with his life. And NRG are really starting to build up some pressure here. But they got to be careful, because Whippersnappers have been beating them in transition here, as this one is so dangerous. I can't believe that Garrett was not there for that. And by the way, is Garrett on an SSG decal? Try and pay close attention to that one. Definitely the most important part of this game is what decal Captain America is rocking. No, what is that? Is that like an old Rogue decal? I'm trying to see if I can figure it out without going to his point of view. But again, Whippersnappers here are really struggling to get out of their own half. So much control here. Skippy's going to try and take a powerful 50 just to see if he can get this one to bounce out. And they need to thank their lucky stars that that one did not roll in, as they try and get aggressive and beat this one upfield. Mist is going to grab that boost in the nick of time, and Whippersnappers are just all out of sorts here. Skippy probably would have wanted to respawn on the other side. They got a chance here. Panda is going to get one past. Skippy gets a very fortunate demo there. Something that we haven't seen as much from him in this game as what we saw from the Omelette series, where those demos are something that is really part of his calling card. And this one's starting to get pretty sloppy and pretty slow here. Again, huge moment, right? This is a game 5, a potential reverse sweep, which would be a huge win for the Whippersnappers and a pretty impactful loss for NRG. So definitely some emotions playing into this one. And I'm just realizing that Realize is also on a fun boost. The Whippersnappers are a fun boost team. I like it. I like funky decals. I like when people try something new. There's not a lot of Justins and Ixos out there who are commonly playing on unique sets. So I like the kits that we're seeing. And Skippy really needs to be a little more heads up, as he's just, getting bumped and demoed all over the place here. Going to try and cut that one out. And we do see Garrett on the SSG decal. So bizarre. I won't read too much into it, because I know it's like a fast car. Maybe it's just like a mental thing. He's like fast octane, must go quick. But weird to see Captain America rocking an opponent's decal here, as, oh my goodness, NRG fall apart at the death here. What is up? Drees is up for this one. Panda with the fake gets the reset. I mean, what a perfect play by Panda here. Can we get on his POV? Here we go. Full boost to his name. Gets up. Gets the fake. Drees was there to play it and then just gets the aerial roll right into a pass and realizes right on the money. A huge goal for Whippersnappers. Big heads up play by Panda, who is not somebody who has always stood out. But that was a huge play there. Let's get back over to Panda, though. I missed our Nickelodeon sludge boost here. See how this one is playing. Garrett has a double attempt, but just kind of hands it over to the defense there. Big heads-up demo, but Drees is going to steal his boost. Really like that Skippy is looking to try and get demos and bumps even when he can. Try and floats this one out. This is where the comms are looking a little rickety, as he had a teammate on the backboard there who could have maybe had a better angle at it. Is going to try and skip one into the middle, pun not intended. But again, we see energy coming out in transition here. Skippy's going to try and hold this one solo. A low solo attempt. Can't get it over Drees. Is going to keep this one in the half for Whippersnappers. Going to try and cut across, and they're looking to just keep this in here, although none of these really look too potent until I caster cursed this one from months ago. So how does this one come into fruition? Realize there. Panda's going to try and float it. Mist keeps it in. Drees has about half a tank of boost here. Garrett's just going to hand that one away. And really rough defense here. Garrett here with full boost is just going to try and, I guess, pass it, but the defense is right there. And realizes he's just going to take it over his head. Is this just kind of a gimme? He gets the full boost, rotates back in. Mist is there, but he's in the middle of a flip. And oh my goodness, Realize gets up to that so fast. And that is going to be it for Skippy's gameplay as Realize. Oh my goodness, calm down. Should have saved this for a Realize video. The double savior medal, 2 goals on 6 shots, almost 1,000 score in the game, and Skippy just doing Skippy things. A goal to his name, should have been 2. Realize had should have been 7 saves. He got one for the opponent. He was so eager to get the saves on the board. Skippy, a goal and a half, we'll call it, and 2 saves to his name. Took a lot of demos, but delivered quite a few as well. Really excited to see what we're going to get from this team. I'm pretty sure for the Summer League that Shift are running, Whippersnappers are actually running a trio of Realize, Skippy, and then Knight. Knight, who is floated around on quite a few North American teams. But interested to see if this play style will allow him and his teammates to thrive. Skippy, physical, demo heavy, and is someone who really likes to take a lot and use a lot of boost to kind of create a pretty difficult situation for his opposition. So got to keep your heads up with this team. Really fun watching Skippy. Guys, thank you for taking the time to enjoy this content. And if there's any other players, I'm especially interested in young up-and-coming talent right now. So if there's anybody who's been on your radar that you've liked watching, or somebody who you've heard is good and you've meant to watch but haven't really had the chance, let me know and we'll dig into that content in the future videos. But as always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch. And until next time, guys, take it easy.